Terraforming a new planet takes some destruction. And that's exactly what Hearthhull does best. Once this alien spaceship lands and the Worldseed starts, the value engine doesn't stop. Hey everyone, I'm Full Harmonicon and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're boarding an alien craft, cruising through the Jund quadrant, conquering planets with one of the most futuristic land sacrifice decks ever. We're talking about Hearthhull, the Worldseed, a card-drawing, land-recurring, ping your opponents to death value machine that turns your mana base into your win condition. Hearthhull is a 4-mana artifact spacecraft for 1 colorless and Jund colors. It has the keyword called Station, which reads, tap another creature you control, put charge counters equal to its power on this spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery, it's an artifact creature at 8+. Once you reach 2 charge counters, you unlock its first ability. For 1 colorless and tap, sack a land, draw 2 cards, and you may play an additional land this turn. But when you hit 8 counters, Hearthhull becomes a 6/7 flying vigilance haste creature and unlocks a second ability. Whenever you sacrifice a land, each opponent loses 2 life. What this means is Hearthhull lets you sacrifice lands to draw cards, ramp with extra land drops, and later in the game becomes your main win condition, all from the command zone. To make Hearthhull hum, we need to do 3 things well. 1. Ramp and play a lot of lands. 2. Sacrifice those lands for value. 3. Bring those lands back from the graveyard to do it all over again. And 4. Win by pinging everyone or through landfall value. We're terraforming the battlefield by destroying, and then replanting bigger and wider than before. Let's take a look at the engine room. Ramp is everything in this deck. We need it early to get Hearthhull online, and we need it later to keep the engine fueled. Cards like Oracle of Moldiah, Exploration, and Azusa, Lost But Seeking, let us drop multiple lands per turn. That's huge when you can play sacked lands from the grave, which we'll talk about in a bit. Dryad of the Elysian Grove gives you an extra land drop and fixes your mana. Versatile and efficient. Harrow, Roiling Regrowth, and Spring Bloom Druid. All sack a land and replace it with 2 more. This is ramping and setting up for recursion. Evendo Bushraiser. Sack a land for 2 red mana, and Impulse Draw when you do sack lands. Lotus Cobra makes landfall turns even more explosive. Explore, Farseek, and Nature's Law help to get Hearthhull out quicker. Now that we've got lands entering from all over the place, it's time to profit. Horizon Explorer makes all lands come in untapped, and even gives you a lander token, which is essentially a Wayfarer's Bauble. Tanakh Memorial Ensign and Sabo Tender deal damage every time a land enters. Tanakh even draws you cards occasionally. How nice! Omnath, Locus of Rage, and Rampaging Ballads generate a stampede of 4/4s and 5/5s. These are your muscle when pings aren't enough. Skewed Swarm. Yes, it's in space too. The classic go-wide chaos generator. And then there's Morag, Fury of Okun, which takes all those land drops and turns them into combat steps. Sacrificing lands is our main win con. So here are your tools that care about lands going to the grave. Zurin Orb and Sylvan Safekeeper let you sack lands at instant speed. With Hearthhull's ping active, that's potentially game ending. Titania, Protector of Argoth, returns a land on ETB and spits out 5/3 tokens when lands hit the grave. Baloth Prime is like Rampaging Ballot's evil twin. Gives you 4/4s when you sacrifice lands. Scouring Swarm flips Scoot Swarm on its head and makes tokens when you sack lands instead of playing them. Both are great in this deck. And Mazarek, Kroll Death Priest, makes all those tokens swole with each land sacrificed. So we've sacked our lands, but we need to get them back for ultimate value. Icetill Explorer, Zarel Genesis Shepherd, and Ancient Green Warden all let you play lands from the graveyard. Icetill gives you an extra land per turn, Shepherd grows your team, and Green Warden doubles your landfall triggers. Nice. Crucible of Worlds and Ramming Up Excavator add redundancy. Conduit of Worlds add some extra flexibility by letting you cast a spell from your graveyard. And for the really big plays, Splendid Reclamation, Aftermath Analysis, and Will of the Sultai brings every single land back. Use these for late game blowouts. Float your mana, sack all your lands, bring them back, do it again, ping everyone for lethal. Speaking of sacking all your lands, God Eternal Bantu, Pitiless Carnage, and Reprocess let you sack exactly how many lands you want. Then draw that many cards. Pair that with a reclamation effect, and yeah, it's disgusting. Nahiri's Lithoforming takes the same idea but also lets you play that many lands again. Make sure to have your recursion lined up. Other card draw include the Gitrog Monster, which is perfect here. More land drops, a sacrifice outlet, and draw engine, all in one froggy package. Corvault, Fakehurst King, gets bigger and draws on every sack. Braids, Arisen Nightmare, sacks lands, pings opponents, and might draw some cards too. Valakut Expiration keeps the impulse draw flowing and burns opponents for anything left over. You're in Jund, you're not short on removal options. World Soul's Rage is sweet. Deals X damage and brings back X lands from the grave. Yes please. Planetary Annihilation hits everyone, lands and creatures. Great reset button when you're ahead. And because you'll be recycling lands, Strip Mine and Wasteland become recurring land destruction. Very spicy. For spot removal, Nature's Claim, Terra Sunder, Terminate, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy are all efficient and versatile. Add in Beast Within and Chaos Warp for good measure. Let's not skip over the mana base. Fetch lands like Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, and Verdant Catacombs are amazing. They sack themselves and can be replayed later from the grave. The sack on ETB lands like Riveteer's Outlook are better here than they are in most decks. Fabled Passage and Friends let you sack them at instant speed. Lotus Field is normally risky in other decks, but here you sack 2 lands to play it, and then you can replay those lands later. Emmedean Hatchery makes tokens when you sack it. That's some great value. Hearthhull is pure Jund joy. It's explosive, it's recursive, and it plays like a puzzle. The main line might be Hearthhull's Sacrifice and Ping, but this deck has plenty of alternate win conditions. Big tokens, extra combat, value loops, and it feels awesome when it all comes together. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this breakdown, give it a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. And hey, if you're planning to pick up any of these cards, consider using my TCG Player affiliate link below. Until next time, may all your world seeds take root.